well, oh 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 well. Sucker blue. I wanna overact. What was that? This is gonna be a good game. Not this game. The best game ever. Hello and welcome to this episode of Hawks Recap. The Blackhawks just eclipsing the 22nd game of their schedule as they drop this one 2-4 to the defending Stanley Cup champions. The Blackhawks starting a little bit of an Eastern Conference swing here for 3 games over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, and they started off Thanksgiving Eve against the Washington Capitals. Now coming into this game, a little bit of good news for the Hawks in terms of the Capitals would be without Oshie and Kuznetsov, so a bit of an opportunity for the Hawks to maybe take advantage of that. But then the game happened, and a minute into the game it became apparent that that just wasn't going to happen. Capitals with the puck on the rush, but it's a 3-on-3 situation, so just man up and you're fine. But instead, this guy back here, Nicholas Schmaltz, decides to leave his guy, Ovechkin, to go towards Nicholas Backstrom, who has the puck on the side boards, creating an unnecessary double team. And of course, Backstrom, being the all-world passer that he is, gets the puck out of there with no problem, leaving Duncan Keith high and dry with a 2-on-1 against Tom Wilson and Ovechkin. Ovechkin finds Wilson back post, tap in. Crawford had no problem, and, well, isn't that something? Tom Wilson, once again, scores against us. I can't say I'm a fan of that. It happens way too often. And, of course, to make matters worse, Wilson kind of runs into Crawford right after that. And I know Wilson just kind of came back from a suspension, and he's had some issues with the Department of Player Safety fairly recently, but this wasn't really a malicious hit. I didn't think this was anything other than just incidental contact. Unfortunately, it's Crawford he ran into, and Crawford kind of just came back from a long break dealing with concussion symptoms. So didn't want to see that. Thankfully, Crawford got up and seemed fine. About 5.5 minutes into this game, Blackhawks give the Capitals a power play opportunity, which is widely regarded as a poor strategy. Coming down to the end of the power play, Capitals get a shot on goal. There's a rebound. Verana picks up the puck and just does a backhand feed across ice, somehow getting through about 4 bodies. And Burakovsky is right there, of course, empty net, and, well, pots it home, and it's 2-0 Capitals. And, oh yeah, Blackhawks don't even have a shot on goal at this point. The Blackhawks would pick up their play, and they would get better as the period goes on. They would actually end up outshooting the Capitals 14-12 in the first period, even after such a slow start. But they couldn't find a way to beat Holtby at all, and so the Hawks are down 2 goals going into the second period. The early part of the second period was pretty back and forth between the two teams, but then 9.5 minutes in, Capitals win an offensive zone draw. They get the puck back to former Blackhawk Michael Kempny, who takes a clapper from the point. Lots of traffic in front. Crawford never sees it. Puck goes in, and it's 3-0 Capitals, and, well, this game is pretty much over. Or is it? About 2 minutes after that, Brandon Saad says, "Follow me!" Saad takes the puck along the boards, does a little stutter step to just break the ankles of Orlov, then just snipes the shot past Holtby, and what do you know? Hawks have a little bit of life. Oh, by the way, Toronto media, you might have to throw in a first-round pick in addition to Nylander if you want Saad now. Nobody else would score in that middle frame, so once again, the Hawks go into a new period, down 2 goals still, but at least now they know that they can at least beat Holtby. Now, when you're down 2 goals going into the third period, you're always looking to get that early goal to get the team that's leading kind of on their heels and kind of have them tense up and turtle up a little bit, maybe not play with as much confidence as they would with a multi-goal lead. It also gives you the most amount of time to then try and tie the game up, and that's exactly what the Hawks got in this third period. Blackhawks have the puck on the rush, almost a 3-on-2 kind of. Schmaltz passes the puck towards the middle of the ice where it's kind of tipped and it's bouncing around. Just kind of a broken play at the blue line there. It looks kind of offsides, but it's not. And then all of a sudden, the puck finds Gustafsson's stick, and somehow Gustafsson is behind the Capitals defense, and somehow Gustafsson does forehand backhand around Holtby and pots it into a wide open net. And all of a sudden, this game is now a 3-2 game. The Hawks have momentum. Hawks put on the pressure after that, trying to get that equalizing goal. Brent Seabrook with just a missile of a slap shot from the dot area. I don't think Holtby ever saw this puck but somehow he gets his blocker on it. Definitely a positional save there. And then shortly after that, Anisimov all alone on the other side of the Capitals defense in the neutral zone. Patrick Kane trying to spring him for a breakaway backhand sauce pass that, of course, former Blackhawk Michael Kempny knocks down. Kempny! Of course, the puck then comes back the other way. Capitals chip it in past Keith. Boyd picks it up. Jokiharju comes in to try and help, vacating his side of the ice. That leaves Devontae Smith-Pelly all alone on the other side. Nobody else picks him up. The puck gets to him, of course, and he pots it home, and just a backbreaker. 4-2 Capitals. Now, that was definitely not a goal that you can really put on Crawford, but it looked like Crawford actually took some of the blame for that. He kind of did this motion like, sorry guys, yeah, that's on me. Because I think he realized that he could have gotten over a lot quicker than he did to try and stop that shot. He knew that Boyd wasn't going to take that shot from the corner. Some guys will try that sharp angle shot, but Boyd had his head up looking at Devontae Smith-Pelly, who was wide open. He had pass 100% written on him, and I think Crawford knew that, and I think Crawford knew where Smith-Pelly was, and he just didn't slide over quick enough, and I think he recognized that and has definitely taken the blame because of that. But no matter who was at fault there, the Capitals would take a 4-2 lead, and that's exactly how this game would end. Now, for the most part, I didn't think the Blackhawks actually played that poorly in this game. They just made a couple of mistakes like they've been making all season, and the Capitals are just a good team, and they're going to be able to take advantage of those mistakes, and they did. They basically took advantage of every single mistake. And the Hawks, going down 2 goals early and then obviously going down 3 goals early in the second period, that's just... You dig a hole like that, it's really tough to dig out of, especially against a top team like the Capitals, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Couple things to note. Number 1, Brandon Saad's just hot right now. He's got 3 straight games with a goal. That fishbowl is doing wonders for him. I hope he wears that for the rest of his career, not necessarily because he needs it, just because, well, his play is great with it. Number 2, that second line with DeBrincat, Schmaltz, and Anisimov just doesn't seem to be working all that great. I'd love to see DeBrincat move back up to the first line and Patrick Kane drop down onto that second line. Because, honestly, Saad and Taves look great on that first line. And Patrick Kane and Taves have their moments together. But for the most part, it just seems like they're kind of running over each other. They're both trying to command that line and command the puck. And it just doesn't seem to be working all that great between the two of them at least. So I'd love to see Kane back down on that second line. It's something that we had earlier on in the season when we were kind of winning some games. I'd love to see that change be made. We'll see if it happens. Up next for the Hawks, things don't really get any easier for them. They travel to Tampa to play the Lightning the day after Thanksgiving. Hopefully the Lightning still have some of that tryptophan in them and we can take advantage of that. Now, Vasilevsky is out for the Lightning with injuries, so hopefully we're also able to take advantage of their backup goaltender situation. Now, one last thing before I go here. If you haven't gotten your entries in for my jersey giveaway, you best hurry up and do so. I'll have a link down in the description below to the video that'll explain everything you need to know about getting said entries in. It's super simple. Really, you have no excuse not to enter. But you best hurry up, because this is your last warning. I am picking the winner Thanksgiving Day. Speaking of which, I hope all of you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hopefully you are spending some quality time with some family or friends. Hopefully you're getting some of that delicious turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes in you and just having an all-around wonderful holiday. And so with that said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed, despite the outcome of the game. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon.